So this might be the exact reason we have not gotten an update on the future of Spider-Man from Sony or Marvel Studios. And it seems to all tie back to Tom Holland himself, and the fact that the actor has not agreed to a new contract or a return as Spider-Man. So the negotiations are still on. So this comes from frequent insider Jeff Snyder, and we've talked about him before. He's pretty legitimate, working for some pretty big trades, so when he drops a scoop like this, most people do believe it because he's been more on point than any of the other scoopers that, well, honestly just work for themselves and sell their scoops, let's put it that way. So he was recently talking about the future of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 4, and the lack of any movement. Now, of course, if you guys keep up with the contracts, technically right now, Sony should have already started work on a new Spider-Man, and we should know details. But again, there is a partnership between Sony and Marvel Studios Disney sharing the character and the rights now, and just coming to good terms, so obviously things have been pushed back a little bit. He provides details that it's all due to Tom Holland right now. Essentially, there hasn't been much movement forward beyond where they left off last time, and that's that Tom Holland was still looking for a little bit of a break. He wanted to do some other stuff, and he's also interested in maybe trying a couple other things and seeing what happens next. Now, of course, recently we did have Sony's Tom Rothman, the CEO, talking about the future, and he said he's hopeful that everybody will be back, including the rest of the cast and Tom Holland, but they didn't have any updates on that. Naturally, I think this is where it all stems from. It's that sort of update where he was like, look, we don't have much to say, but I hope everybody comes back. And certainly, I think everybody will come back, but it's one of those things where they don't have to worry about rushing a project out now. You know, they can take their time. Tom Holland can go shoot another Uncharted if they want, which seems to be what they're going to be doing. He can go do a couple more things, take a little bit of a break, and then come back refreshed in a couple of years. You know, we've seen other actors do this. We've seen this with other franchises, and we're currently seeing it with other comic book franchises as well. You know, Robert Pattinson and the Batman. Like, they're going to take a couple years off before they get back in front of a camera, and they said they all want a break, do some other things, and then reconvene and get at it. So I believe this is all kind of the same thing. It's just, instead of being into that Marvel machine constantly, which was, hey, we're shooting another project and we need you back every single year, now they're allowed more time because they have so much. So they're taking their time. They're going to hash out a new contract, probably multiple appearances, still use up Tom's last appearance that he has guaranteed with Marvel Studios, which they confirmed, and then figure out what the next step is logistically. And I think in due time, we're going to find out more. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's soon, maybe it's next year, but I think this kind of guarantees that the next Spider-Man film is a little further away than most people think, like at least 3 years.